Hi everyone, so sorry about not posting yesterday. I just got really busy. But that means you guys get twice as long for my Immortal and you get 2 drawings. Yesterday's prompt was spell and today's prompt was teeth. So I did wizard cookie and sorbet shard cookie, which makes more sense for sorbet later. We're starting off with chapter 7, Bring Me to Life. Author's note. Well, okay, you guys, I'm only writing this because I got 5 good reviews, and by the way, I won't write the next chapter till I get 10 good ones. Stop flaming or I'll report you. Ebony isn't a Mary Sue, okay? She isn't perfect, she's a Satanist, and she has problems. She's depressed, for God's sakes. Draco and I held our pale white hands of black nail polish as we went upstairs. I was wearing red rings on my nail and red nail polish. Author's note. See, does that sound like a Mary Sue to you? I waved to Vampire. Dark misery was in his depressed eyes. I guess he was jealous of me that I was going out with Draco. Anyway, I went upstairs excitedly with Draco. We went into his room and locked the door. Then we started Frenching passively, and we took off each other's clothes enthusiastically. He felt me up before I took off my top, then I took off my black leather bra, and he took off his pants. Went on the bed, started making out naked, and then he put his boing thingy in mine, and we had sex. See, is that stupid? Oh, Draco, Draco, I screamed while getting an orgasm when all of a sudden I saw a tattoo I'd never seen before on Draco's arm. It was a black heart with an arrow through it. On it, in bloody gothic writing, were the words vampire. I was so angry. You bastard, I shouted angrily, jumping out of the bed. No, but you don't understand, Draco pleaded. But I knew too much. No, you fucking idiot, I shouted. You probably have AIDS anyways. I put on my clothes and all huffily and then stomped out. Draco ran out even though he was naked. He had a really big you-know-what. But I was too mad to care. I stomped out and did so until I was in Vampire's classroom where he was having a lesson with Professor Snape and some other people. Vampire Potter, you motherfucker, I yelled. Chapter 8. Author's note. Stop flaming, okay? If you do, then you're a prep. Everyone in the class stared at me, and then Draco came into the room, even though he was naked, and started begging to take him back. Ebony, it's not what you think, Draco screamed sadly. My friend Bloody Mary Smith smiled at me understandably. She flipped her long, waist-length, gothic black hair and opened her crimson eyes like blood that she was wearing contact lenses on. She had pale white skin that she was wearing white makeup on. Hermione was kidnapped when she was born. Her real parents are vampires, and one of them is a witch, but Voldemort killed her mother, and her father committed suicide because he was depressed about it. She still has nightmares about it, and she is very exhausted and depressed. It also turns out her real last name is Smith and not Granger. Since she was converted to Satanism, she's in Slytherin now, not Gryffindor. What is it you desire, you ridiculous dimwit? Snape demeaned angrily in his cold voice, but I ignored him. Vampire! I can't believe you cheated on me with Draco! I shouted at him. Everyone gasped. I don't know why Ebony was so mad at me. I had went out with Vampire. I'm bi, and so is Ebony. For a while, but then he broke my heart. He dumped me because I liked Brittany. Stupid preppy fucker. We were just good friends now. He had gone through horrible problems and now he was gothic. Haha, like I would hang out with a prep. But I'm not going out with Draco anymore, said Vampire. Yeah, fucking right. Fuck off, you bastard, I screamed. I ran out of the room and into the Forbidden Forest where I lost my virginity to Draco, and then I started to bust into tears. Chapter 9. Author's note. Stop flaming, okay? I didn't read all the books. This is from the movie, okay? So it isn't my fault if Dumbledore swears. Besides, I said he had a headache. And the reason Snape doesn't like Harry now is because he's Christian and Vampire is Satanist. MCR rocks. I was so mad and sad. I couldn't believe Draco for cheating on me. I began to cry against the tree where I did with Draco. Then all of a sudden, a horrible man with red eyes and no nose and everything started flying towards me on a broomstick. He didn't have a nose, basically like Voldemort in the movie. And he was wearing all black, but it was obvious he wasn't gothic. It was Voldemort. No, I shouted in a scared voice, but then Voldemort shouted, imperious, and I couldn't run away. Crookshanks, I shouted at him. Voldemort fell off his broom and started to scream. I felt bad for him, even though I'm a sadist, so I stopped. Ebony, he yelled, thou must kill Vampire Potter. I thought about Vampire and his sexy eyes and his gothic black hair and how his face looks just like Joel Madden. I remembered that Draco had said I didn't understand. So I thought, what if Draco went out with Vampire before I went out with him, and they broke up? No, Voldemort, I shouted back. Voldemort gave me a gun. No, please, I begged. Thou must, he killed. If thou does not, then I shall kill thy beloved Draco. How did you know? I asked him in a surprised way. Voldemort got a dude, you're so stupid look on his face. I have telekinesis, he answered cruelly, and if you doth not kill Vampire, then thou shalt know what will happen to Draco, he shouted, then he flew angrily on his broomstick. I was so scared and mad I didn't know what to do. Suddenly Draco came into the woods. Draco! I said. Hi, he said back, but his face was still sad. He was wearing white foundation and a messy eyeliner, kind of like a pentagram, get it? Between Joel Madden and Gerard Way. Are you okay? I asked. No, he answered. I'm sorry, I got all mad at you, but I thought you cheated on me, I expelled. That's okay, he said, all depressed, and we went out back into Hogwarts together, making out. Chapter 10. Stop it. If you don't like my story, then frick off. P.S. It turns out Bloody Mary isn't a muggle after all. She and Vampire are evil. That's why they moved houses. Okay. I was really scared about Voldemort all day. I was even upset. Went to rehearsals with my gothic metal band Bloody Gothic Road 666. I'm the lead singer of it, and I play guitar. People say that we sound like a cross between GC, Slipknot, and MCR. The other people in the band are Bloody Mary, Vampire Draco, Ron, although we call him Diablo now. He has black hair now with blue streaks in it, and Hagrid. Only today Draco and Vampire were depressed, so they weren't coming, and we wrote songs instead. I knew Draco was probably slitting his wrists. He wouldn't die, because he's a vampire too, and the only way you can kill vampires is with a CROSS. There's no way I'm writing that. Or a stake. And Vampire was probably watching a depressing movie like The Corpse Bride. I put on a black leather shirt that showed off my boobs and a tiny matching miniskirt that said Simple Plan on the butt. You might think I'm a slut, but I'm really not. And we were singing a cover of Helena, and at the end of the song I suddenly busted in tears. Ebony, are you okay? Bloody Mary asked in a concerned voice. What do you think? I asked angrily, and then I said, well, Voldemort came, and he told me to kill Harry, but I don't want to kill him, because he's really nice, even if he did go Draco. But if I don't kill Harry, then Voldemort will kill Draco. I busted in tears. Suddenly, Draco jumped out from behind a wall. Why didn't you tell me? He shouted. How could you? You poser muggle? I started to cry and cry. Draco started to cry too, all sensitive. Then he ran out crying. We practiced for 1 more hour, then suddenly Dumbledore walked in angrily. His eyes were all fiery, and I knew this time it wasn't because he had a headache. What have you done? He started to cry wisely. See, that's basically not swearing, and this time he was really upset, and you'll see why. Ebony, Draco has been found in his room. He committed suicide by slitting his wrists. For those of you that are new to my Immortal, I'm gonna read you the description that someone left for the website that I'm using to read it on. It is, in short and most accurately, completely stupid. My Immortal is a very loose Harry Potter fan fiction story about Ebony, or Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way, a gothic teenage vampire girl who attends Hogwarts school. To say any more may spoil it. The story is infamous for its horrible abuse to the English language and extreme gothic attitude. For those who remember My Immortal, should also remember the first few chapters, 1 through 15, were co-written with Raven, hence they were spelt better, etc. But don't worry, Raven leaves in chapter 16, which is where her character Willow gets expelled from Hogwarts. The copy on here, I'm pretty sure, is the 100% original version of My Immortal with no edits at all outside those by Raven, which were in the original. This copy includes the Hacker chapter 39. Back then, there was really, it was really easy for people to log into other people's accounts, so there were many times that the story has been deleted and had to be recovered again by the username that I cannot remember. It was written on a fanfiction website and then later on moved to a bunch of different ones by people trying to keep it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching, and bye bye!